Hello everyone, I am Güven. Today I am going to share you tips and important points while doing Sacada. These are important in all types of Sacadas, and even their combinations with itself and other figures as well. Just like in front Sacada, back Sacada, side Sacada. So the first one is, for example, while we are doing front Sacada, like leading the woman to a front ocho movement to this side, we are actually doing the same thing. We are also doing front ocho, like this. Of course, it's harder to show it only by myself, but it's more or less like this. So you are taking the step to that part, and you are still want to make sure that after getting to that point, you are still face to face with the woman or follower. While doing this movement, in order to keep your balance, you should activate or harden your core muscles. It will be a lot easier in that way. And as you see, you can use your free leg a little bit to support yourself while with your full leg as well. But of course, it is not necessary. It's only necessary while you practice by yourself. When you have a partner, it is not actually that difficult to establish your balance. The second thing is, while you are doing the Sacada, you should actually make the contact with this part of one woman's body, not with foot or anything. It will be both harmful or even lead to the injuries, or at the very least, it will look bad. So, but there's a trick to do it. When you are seeing just the head of the woman or at the most upper body while doing dancing. So you shouldn't look to the floor. But it is also enough. When you lead to the step, the projection of the axis of the woman, the central axis, the projection of her head to the floor will be empty. So you just take your step there, and the woman will be here. And then you will do the same thing, and she will be here. And you will do the same thing, and she will be again in the front of yours. So you will always take into account the projection of the central axis of the woman in order to make safe sacadas. The other point is, while we are doing the sacada, as we all know, there is a bone part of this leg. You should never ever make a contact with that part. If both partners' bone parts clash with each other, it may lead to the serious injuries, and it's also wrong. So while doing front cross sacadas, you should aim for the soft muscle parts of this inner sides. And while doing front open sacadas, like while side-stepping the woman to side and try to do this something like this, you should target with this outer parts of the muscles, but always with the muscle-muscle interaction. Otherwise, if you can't do this much, or if you are unsure about whether you will be able to do it, not doing it is the better case. But it is not that hard, actually. The other important point is actually one of the most important in the other figures as well. Leading the woman with opening the upper body part is actually the key part of successfully doing this. Like when I try to bring the woman to the diagonal, it should be simultaneous with my step. So I should never stop opening up body, otherwise there will be disruptions in our connection with partner. And especially in the combinations, we shouldn't. It is hard to do it in this way, for instance, like the first sacada waiting here, the second sacada waiting here, and the other sacada and waiting here. It shouldn't be like this, it should be continuous. So you should also think about doing combinations while the music is appropriate for that. Since if you are doing three combinations of Sacada in a slowing down music, for instance, it will look bad in either way, even if you perfectly conduct your Sacada. So, opening up your body should be something like this. Otherwise, of course, it is not ideal when I do it alone, but it shouldn't be step by step. You should always keep your upper body opening toward this side. As far as I remember, these are the basic things to consider while practicing Sacada. Have a nice day.